Welcome to another edition of Do You Believe on Basketball Illuminati. I'm your honest podcaster, Zach Harper. We've got Mo Dakhil, who is your Mo Dakhil. We've got your proud American, Wosny Lambre. Make sure whatever we're doing, whether it's here or every other platform, like it, subscribe, retweet it, repost it, do all that stuff.
Yes.
Do all that stuff. Or do you believe we won't grace your lives with our presence anymore? That will be the next topic. Guys, we got a good one for you today. I binged a documentary last night that we will get to instead of really doing any of my other plans for last night. Just kind of dove in, but we'll get into that in a little bit. I want to start off with something that I wrote in the Bounce for this morning, which is the free newsletter from The Athletic, theathletic.com/thebounce. Subscribe, get it every month. I'm a subscriber. Thank you.
Yes,
make sure you open it. That open rate is, otherwise we'll kick you out.
No, I open every, you have to open the email to actually click some links. Just opening the email.
I mean, clicking links would be great, but just opening the email is more than enough.
Okay.
What I wrote today in the Bounce was that the Denver Nuggets should be the favorite in the West. So I will ask you, and let's put into context here. Oklahoma City Thunder, the largest margin of victory in NBA history. They are dominating in a way we have never seen before. They are on pace for 66, 67 wins, somewhere in that range. Historically great regular season team. And I have seen what the Denver Nuggets have done since an embarrassing loss to the Wizards on December 7th, in which Jokic dropped a career high 56 points, and they dropped to 11 and 10. And I wrote them off just like everybody else did. And since then, they're like 25, like 25 and 8, 25 and 9, something like that. Dominating every single night. Offense has been as good as anybody's. So guys, do you believe, Mo, I'll start with you. Do you believe the Nuggets are the favorite in the West?
Yes, I do. And it's for a couple of, and I was one of the biggest haters of them even before they lost to the Wizards, Zach. I was not a believer, was not one of those guys. I also think as good as the Nuggets are, I also think the Thunder are more vulnerable than people think. I think this is what they're doing in the regular season is unbelievable. I'm not convinced that translate comes playoff basketball. Yeah. When teams are going to be able to scheme against their stuff, work or figure out how to attack them on both ends of the floor. I think they're going to have a lot harder time in the playoffs than I think people are really expecting.
I don't believe Denver should be the favorite in the West. I don't think they should. For all the reasons you mentioned about the season that OKC's having. However, would I be surprised if they whooped OKC's ass in a head-to-head matchup? No. I just think the team that's like on a 67-win pace should be expected to make it to the NBA Finals.
So you're expecting a Thunder Cavs Finals because they're both same record, same pace.
No. The Thunder and the Cavs.
Wait a minute.
No, absolutely not.
But you just said
no. Okay, I need to hold on. I need to add an addendum to that. And you have an MVP frontrunner who I believe is actually going to play like an MVP in the playoffs. That's the difference. Cleveland doesn't have somebody who's even a top 10 player.
Right.
They don't. And OKC can credibly say their guy is top 3 at worst, and I think that matters in a playoff setting because he can just destroy teams, go for 50 one night, like put people in foul trouble, do that kind of thing that like swings playoff series, right? In like game 5s and game 3s. Yeah. So I think they're a different level because of the guy that's leading them. But yeah, the vulnerabilities are there. The light in the shorts nature of their front court, very vulnerable. They're vulnerable in the shorts. Also, Isaiah Joe, he's going to get abused on defense in the playoffs.
Dated Isaiah Joe.
Isaiah Joe is going to get smoked. I like him. Carew Sanity, love him. But like when you're playing him with another big, like a Hartenstein, like the shooting problems are going to come up. Like teams are going to dare Kenrich Williams to beat them from outside. Teams are going to dare Case and Wallace to make huge shots. Like, I'm sorry. Like, these guys do not scare me in a playoff setting, but you win 67 games, you smoke teams by 14 points per possession, per 100 possessions, 14 points per possession.
44 possessions would be something else.
Denver would be in trouble.
Some nights.
Then we might have to talk about them winning a championship if that's what they were doing.
I just think they're vulnerable, but they should still be the favorite.
You know, it's funny you mentioned the MVP candidate thing. I also wrote this for The Athletic today. I was doing an awards watch thing, and I couldn't believe the MVP odds on BetMGM, which is our partner at The Athletic. Because, like, all right, SGA is minus 500 to win, right? And Jokic is plus 300 to win, which means SGA is a pretty big favorite here, but that also could just be the money is on SGA and it's swinging things a certain way, right? It doesn't necessarily mean he has that kind of a lead in the actual voting. But then after that, third place in the betting odds is Giannis at plus 12,500 to win. After that, because you have to round it, because it's a 5-person ballot, right? So they have to include more than just the two people. It's Tatum and Wemby tied for the fourth best odds at plus 30,000 to win.
So if
30,000,
what does that mean?
So it's 300 to 1. So you bet $1 for them to win, they win it, you get $300.
Yeah.
That's basically
and then there's one more on the ballot. It's Karl Anthony Towns plus 50,000 to win. And that's it. That's it on their odds. Like, but they have to like shoehorn a full ballot in there, which is hilarious to me. But that's how dominant SGA and Jokic have been in this race.
First off, just a quick aside, Wemby being fourth, despite his team being 11th in the West.
Like, that's just name recognition. He's also like a massive favorite over Evan Mobley right now to win Defensive Player of the Year. Like, he's like minus 2,500 and Mobley's like, I don't know, plus 2,500 or something like that. Something ridiculous like that. And I'm like, look, that's a name thing right there. That's where the money is just on Wemby and skewing things because...
No, I think the narrative thrust around Wemby's defensive dominance
such
is
a
there,
golf
bro.
like that. Like, that's a
bro. Go
golf.
look at every media member's preseason MVP pick. I mean, excuse me, Defensive Player of the Year pick.
Sure.
Everybody picked Wemby. You know, as members of the media, we know we're not going to pick against ourselves. Come on,
we always pick for me to be right. Yes, of course.
We got to be dragged, kicking and screaming.
Yeah.
To pick against, you know, what we originally thought was going to be the case. That's why I think that odd is not as insane as it looks.
But that's what makes us so incredibly introspective about this Nuggets thing, is because Mo and I definitely wrote them off back when they lost to the Wizards. Before they lost to the Wizards.
I wrote them off after they lost KCP, guys. I wrote them off before the start of the season. Like, this is the thing about the Thunder, right? And I look, as we've said, they're historically dominant, right? And they're deep. I'm not with Waz on like, oh, Isaiah Joe's going to do this and Caruso this, right? Like I believe in a lot of their role players.
Not all believe in their role players.
I believe in Isaiah Joe. I believe
in Caruso. I just think on this team, he's going to have to shoot.
Yeah. Like, I don't know that you can play him a whole lot in a lineup with Hartenstein. You can play him with Chet, right? Like, you can play him with Chet.
But even Chet stretching is theoretical.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I got to see him. I got to see him like not on a minutes restriction, back in the flow of things. Like, like he's got some work to do because he missed so much time. But I will say this: like, everyone just assumes, okay, the Thunder were in the playoffs last year, so now they have the experience necessary. That's not how that necessarily works, right? They got smoked in the second round. Like, Dallas handled them. It was a 6-game series, but Dallas handled them, and they don't have much experience outside of that. And I do believe that matters. Whereas Denver knows what it takes to make it. I mean, Russ doesn't, but the rest of them know what it takes to get through that and to like how you pace yourself in the postseason. And there is just that very real problem. And maybe this is, look, I mean, they didn't win the damn thing. And we'll get to it. Maybe it's because I was watching Court of Gold last night for 6 hours, but like there was this whole thing where I was like, yeah, man, Jokic is just a beast to these guys. Like, there's just no way. Like, I don't like, even Hartenstein, like, he's a big dude, not that big. You know?
But even just going back to what you said of, they're in the playoffs last year, so we automatically assume they'll take the leap. Part of that is you have to learn from your mistake from last year. And I haven't seen anything change from the team.
But but they did make two big pickups, right? Like, to play devil's advocate there. Caruso and Hartenstein are massive pickups that when that happened and I saw the over under of it was 56.5 or whatever for OKC, I was like, that's a 60-win team easily, right? Like, that seemed obvious.
But that's the regular season. Like, my thing is a lot of times what I look in the regular season is all right, what's your plan B and plan C on offense? Like, they don't have one. It's not, it's if you're able to take Shea out, which is not easy, but if you're able to take Shea out or just make him inefficient, they don't have any other way to turn. Or if you just say, we're going to put all our defense on Shea and see if the other guys beat us, I don't see much there. I don't see the other plans that they have working out for them, that they've worked on or developed. Like, that's the stuff that hurt them last season in the playoffs. And that's the thing I think that they didn't correct this year and is going to be the issue. Like the Hartenstein pickup, and granted he was injured for a lot of it. Okay, cool. Maybe they'll play out of the high post more. Maybe they'll do a lot more, run a little more actions with him kind of the facilitator. Haven't seen a lot of that since he's been back. And granted, the injury time that he missed doesn't help, but there's a lot of that stuff where I just don't see it. That's why I'm not sure. I don't really believe in them as much as everybody else.
Yeah, because even like in the playoff run, granted this is 10, this includes the Pelican series, but like Shea was great. Shea averaged 37 and 6, shot damn near 50% from the field, 43% from three, and they got smoked by the Mavericks. Because no one else could make a shot.
So again, I don't think OKC is going to alter. If you give me the field in the West versus OKC, I'm taking the field by 1,000,000, right? I think the case for them, and people were making it to me at All-Star Weekend, is that the Dallas series, if you go back and look, they just missed a lot of open shots.
Yeah.
And the idea is that this year they're going to make them. And I don't think that's a horrible analysis, honestly, to think that Dort is actually even more confident now. And look, remember that first OKC playoffs with Chris Paul and Shea's first year against Houston, and Dort was there, and Dort couldn't make a shot for anything. Yeah. Like, that guy compared to 2024,
totally different
in his confidence and his proficiency and all of that. I think the argument is that these kids are going to make big shots this year in ways that they just weren't ready or didn't have it in them to make last year. I don't personally buy it, but I don't think it's a crazy thing to say either.
By the way, my guy Isaiah Joe shot 44% from three against the Mavericks in that series.
His problem was defense in the series, not shooting.
Okay.
He's 5'11" and skinny as hell. That was his problem.
I love the faith-based. Well, they'll just make shots this year. That's the faith-based.
But he did miss a lot of open shots. They missed a lot.
They missed a lot, but it's also like, okay, maybe that's not the shot you need to be taking then. Like, maybe you're open for a reason.
I take it back. I'm pro Thunder. I'm going to rub it in you guys' face. Waz is anti-Prairie. I don't know what Mo's doing here, but this is ridiculous. Go Thunder. OKC, more like go KC. Wait, no, that's just a Chiefs thing. All right, let's speaking of
Zach joining the Oklahoma City propaganda media. Love that.
I thought he was about to break out in an indigenous yell. I thought he was about to go full Kansas City on him.
Waz, that new contract hasn't kicked in yet. It's not yet. Hold on. We got a few months for that.
Still opportunities.
SGA averaged 32, 8, and 7, shot 50% from the field, 55% from three in that series against the Mavericks last year. He was great.
He was incredible.
And he's someone who doesn't believe he needs representation anymore because he has parted ways with his agent from Wasserman and will now represent himself. So Waz, I ask you, do you believe that superstars like Shea, like any of these top players, actually need an agent?
No, they don't need agents for NBA contract negotiations. But they do need brand teams. They need somebody to help them with their shoe stuff, with, picking the right commercials and, ensuring that their public image is one that is going to resonate with people and basketball fans. They need people for that because they definitely don't know. They can't do that on their own. They need marketing professionals to be able to help them with that stuff. But in terms of negotiating with an NBA team, here's the negotiation. I put my dick on the table.
Oh, boy.
I'm the two-time MVP by the time Shea has to do this again.
Oh.
Pay me.
Two-time.
Pay me everything that you got.
Yeah. It's got to be easy to be like, what's the max you can pay me? All right, I'll take that.
Yeah. That's like, you don't need
get a super max.
agent.
You're going to pay me 8. I'm going to get 81 year. Yeah, I'll do that. That works.
It's that simple. When you're Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, 100%. Now, I don't know. Shea's like, he's getting better about getting himself out there. Obviously, people know
his Skims deal.
He's got his Skims deal.
He's got his new shoe, the SGA one.
Yeah, I saw his new shoe. We actually meet myself, Trey, my guy Sean. We actually went to the unveiling of the shoe at All-Star Weekend. I'm actually pretty into it. Very inspired by the Iverson 4.
All right. Mo, really do you believe that Waz is into the SGA 1 shoe, or do you believe that Waz is pandering to the SGA 1 shoe?
And it's a little bit of both.
No. I believe Waz has already secured his pair and is now just being the good soldier of doing it.
I mean, it reminds me of like, some of those KG Gary Payton Nike shoes back in the day. Like I do like them. I don't love the color.
I want to see different colors for sure.
I want to see the different colorway, but
mustard yellow shoe.
I love a zipper on a shoe. I love a zipper like down the front of the shoe. Like that's a clean look. I think it's I think you could do a lot with the colorways of this.
The only time I ever got a shoe was the PG shoes that had a zipper. That was the only time I've had a zipper on the shoe.
I don't always love it.
That's why I was like,
I think I was the only one who just saw all the PG shoes. I was like, nah, man. I
like that one that they gave us for free at his media thing.
That was the only time I've ever been invited. So I don't get any of these shoes. I don't understand that.
I'm telling you, man, the best 2 years of my life, I was randomly on a list that just got shoes from Nike and Jordan. Didn't have to ask for it. They would just send them like every couple of months.
That's always the best.
Best 2 years of my life. Don't know how I got on the list. Don't know how I got off the list.
They clearly audited that seating list.
Absolutely. I think the person at Nike left to like go work for like a video game company, and I was out. Yeah. Like, oh no, we thought this was Zach Lowe. Mo, do you believe that these stars of this caliber need an agent?
No. It's all the contracts are all lined up. It's all set up for you. In that, like, these are max deal, super, you qualify, boom, you just need a good lawyer who's going to take a little less percentage. Like, it's that simple, really. Like, just to make sure the contract terms are where you want it. Maybe trying to negotiate a no trade clause. That's about it.
You poor, sweet, innocent fools.
Oh, Jesus.
You're just looking at this in terms of money and contracts and max deals. Guys, what happens when I need to force my way out of somewhere? And I'm not just talking about SGA here. I'm talking about any of these stars. What happens when I need to get to a Phoenix or a Miami or a Lakers or a Warriors or the Knicks or any of this? What happens if I have to get to the Knicks? Am I doing it by representing myself? No, I go sign with CAA. If I want to get to the Lakers, do I do it by representing myself? No, I go sign with Clutch. You guys want to do this pie in the sky, I'm going to Dirk Nowitzki this thing and stay here forever? That's not reality. Reality is I got my money, did it myself, don't have to give 4% to anybody. That's great. But you know what I got to do? I got to get the fuck out of Dodge.
Counterpoint, Bernie Lee.
Hey, he got his money.
What? Just out of curiosity, Zach. What agency's turning Shea down when he's ready to demand a trade?
Like,
what agency is going like? Hey, no, man, you wanted to do this on your own. I don't want that 4%.
Was that a Bernie Lee hat? I can't take it. Maze dropped that in the chat. I can't take credit for that.
Yeah. Do you think it was Bernie Lee's like machinations behind the scenes? Like, no, Phoenix was going to pay Jimmy. They just couldn't get rid of the horrible deal that they made the year before. That was it. The rest was on Jimmy to have the stomach to be rude to everybody in Miami for 2 months. Like, I mean,
which is easy.
For Jimmy Butler.
Dog, you know how easy that would be for me, if I needed to get out of somewhere, they're like, hey, you just got to be a problem for 2 months. You know how easy, like, people are like, oh, you've really got professional. Dog, I would be the fucking worst. I would make Jimmy look like Damian Lillard.
And
that's the easiest job in the NBA is trying to get yourself traded. Being a different, like, I'll be James Harden out there.
Yeah,
like,
Harden was
Harden's the goat of that, man. He did that shit twice.
He didn't even talk about it. He just went out.
The best part, like, my favorite things when he was trying to get out of Houston, he goes to, like, remember, this is pandemic like times. He's going to Vegas. He's going to Atlanta. He's in clubs. They're like, why weren't you at training? He finally shows up to training camp. They're like, why weren't you at training camp with your team? Like, why did you think like you should be off in like these other cities working out? And his answer, he literally just says this. He goes, my trainers. And that's it. No explanation. No, like, we were doing, he just says my trainers and that's it. Like he is the Michael Jordan of forcing a trade.
Harden was he did it again in Brooklyn. He did it. He did it in Philly.
Like nobody gets fat and then skinny like James Harden when he's trying to get a trade.
Dude, also, shouts to James Harden, man, who doesn't have a reputation for working his ass off, but like put himself in position to make All-Star this year. After I thought 2 years ago he was completely cooked and finished. Like
that was a lazy pick by the coach.
Yes, that was name recognition. We were talking name recognition with Victor.
Come on, man.
I don't think he was wholly undeserving though.
He shoots 39% from the field.
Orchestrating the entire offense.
A horrible offense.
For the fifth best team in the West. Don't look at their offensive rating. Don't look at their defensive rating either. Just know that James Harden is orchestrating. They're the fifth best team in the West. That's it. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. You know who else on that team? Norm Powell is on that fifth best team in the West.
He's the one who deserves to be the guy to go to the All-Star
isn't even
game.
like it's his only chance to get like that motherfucker's an all-star. He's an all-star.
We're talking name recognition. Zach's right. It was a lazy pick from the coaches. Maybe that's why you need an agent. Maybe it was the start. Yeah. Maybe it was the agent kind of pushing that a little bit on the coaches.
Hey man, somebody's got to do the work. Somebody got to shoot 40%.
Well, I think you typically want a little higher. Harden didn't get there. He was at 39. So.
I love that you were presenting that as if that was his 3-point percentage.
Yeah.
James Harden, all-star at 38.
Speaking of the stars, guys, I watched Court of Gold last night. I didn't think I was going to have time to do it. And then I was writing. I turned it on. I got lost in that shit so much. And so let me say, like, I want to ask, do you believe Team USA will lose in the Olympics in 2028? And that means not get gold, not like some group play loss bullshit.
Yes.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And let me tell you why. All right. I'm watching this thing last night and they build it perfectly. You got Katie getting emotional. Katie's like, I mean, the Serbian coach is cussing this player out for not sticking to KD. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? It's Kevin Durant. Why are you leaving him? So I get it. Steph's going to be old. LeBron's going to be old. KD's going to be old. They're probably not even going to play. I guess LeBron might coach the team based on the end of that series of what I watched last night, but I don't know. So yes, I get it. Those guys are gone. And Steph did the thing against Serbia and Steph did the thing against France. And it's beautiful, right? But this is what I walked away from with that series. And I was thinking about Athens in 2004. I was thinking about going against Spain in 2008 and 2012. Going against France in 2020.
Wait, but we're going to be home for the next Olympics, no?
Yeah.
LA, yeah.
Oh, we're not losing the next Olympics.
But hold on, right? I keep thinking about this stuff, right? I was like, oh yeah, Argentina like did win and they were like the golden age and all this shit. Spain was incredible. Like I think our greatest challenge was Spain in 2008, 2012, not France currently. And yes, Wemby is going to be the best player in the world by then. And they've got a deep team and France is an incredible country, incredible program. If Jokic is still playing the Olympics, then like they're going to still be very dangerous, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing is with all of those countries, and we've seen it with Lithuania, we've seen it with all these countries, right? There's never a second wave. There's never a third wave.
France has a second wave, though. Koulibaly,
He's good. Ricochet is not good.
What's the kid from Star?
We're not going to worry. We'll worry about one wizard. We're not worried about two wizards. Okay, that's not happening. All right.
They have a second wave. Ricochet can play. Zach, he can play.
Not against our guys.
He's a glue guy. He's sort of make everything work guy.
Yeah, not all glue stick. Okay, some are pretty weak. And so this is the thing, though. These countries never have the next wave that keeps this thing going. Now, France is going to be very good then. Don't get me wrong. But you know who always has the next wave of players? Fucking America. Because we are the greatest. You know who didn't medal after hearing for years? Oh, look out.
Canada's going to be really good. They're going to be really good.
Because they can't do shit in a tournament. The last time they medaled was like 1936. We didn't even have the atomic bomb yet. I gotta worry about Dwight Powell stopping our big men. Are you kidding me? I gotta worry about Dylan Brooks learning to speak French, talking about Toy Story 2, and then going out there and going 1 for 9 in an elimination game against Wemby in Team France.
Tough look for Dylan Brooks.
I'm not worried. Got smoked.
SGA is a problem. The rest of them, not worried. Jokic is a problem. The rest of them, not worried. Wemby's a problem. The rest of them, not worried. We're gonna have Ant. We're gonna have all these dudes, right? Tatum, if he gets to play,
Evan Mobley,
might not.
Mobley, Chet will be in there.
Sure.
Booker will probably still be there. He's still incredible. Like we have all these dudes.
Cooper Flag
Flag's gonna be there.
He
will be wrapped in an American flag. Cooper Flag in an American flag. Like, we always have the next wave.
Can we switch the names?
I get it. Obnoxious American. All this, like, over sense of pride and country and everything. This is when I get prideful. Is Team USA basketball. I'm not like this with every Olympic sport. I root for Usain Bolt whenever he runs against us. I was rooting for Usain Bolt forever. I'm not worried about them. I'm not worried about anybody.
Be hard to beat. France is going to be hard to beat.
Okay, who's their guards?
I heard. Well, I read on the subtitles, them going, we've been crucified by Steph Curry. Guess who's going to crucify you next time? Anthony Edwards got a Steph Curry shot now. Get the fuck out of here.
Just what? Who's their guards?
Exactly.
Who's France's guards?
They do have this one kid, the other Traore kid, who's coming up. I think he's going to be in this draft. He's good. He wouldn't start. He wouldn't play on our team.
Good young players, dude.
And none of them will play on our team.
And these guys have been playing together forever. And the thing is,
chemistry
like,
sure helped them guard Steph.
I watched Micic in the NBA this year. He's a nice whatever kind of player. Good backup.
He's
nice
30.
Backup point guard. No, what I'm just saying is in the Olympics, around what Jokic was doing, you can't use the NBA context for a guy like Ricochet. Like, you can't do that. Like, the context in the, when the refs are doing bullshit with the calls, the teams have more familiarity with each other than Team USA does.
No, Ricochet is going to take the torch from Evan Fournier, except instead of it being a torch, it's a wet match. Like, that's what it is. Fuck out of here. I'm worried about
the league last year, and he had big moments in the Olympics.
Waz is all in on Yabusele. Waz is all in on Yabusele. That's it.
These guys have a weird way of emerging out of nowhere on these stages. That's all I'm saying. Look, man, I really do want to see Evan Mobley and all of these guys take the torch and make it happen, but bruh, I love Jalen Brunson. He ain't Steph Curry, guys.
I just counted 5 straight golds for us. I'm just trying to go through in my head.
Paolo plays for America, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't get him.
I just don't see us losing on our turf.
No, we're not going to lose at home. I forgot about the home.
Play it on the fucking moon. We're not losing these guys.
Fair enough. Bro. Also, our turf. We were there first.
I'm sorry.
It was,
I'm sorry, dude, but reliving, I guess it's episode 5 where I had to relive that traumatic. So I'm watching the Serbia game at my crib by myself, and I'm texting a couple of friends. I'm panicking, Zach, the entire time. My buddies are just like, yo, bro, chill. Like, there's still some time left. I'm like, you can't be serious. Oh, my God, another hand, what up? Like, we're going to go out like this. It's going to be the last KD and Steph and Bron. Dude, traumatic to the point where I was like, I can't watch the finals by myself. I made sure to reach out to homies and be like, yo, can we please, like, I need the moral support. Like,
he needed a support team. He needed a support team.
I will tell you, what was that guy, Goodrich? When Goodrich hit that three and got fouled or whatever, I'll admit, like, at that time, I was like, okay, this isn't looking great. This isn't looking great. And then here's the thing. This is the thing about the American exceptionalism when it comes to basketball. You know what happened after that point? That faucet for Serbia got turned the fuck off. Yeah. Not with a handle, with a goddamn wrench. And that's what we can do.
They were making impossible shots that whole game, though.
Yeah, they shot out of their mind.
They played the game of their lives. Well, reliving that game was a traumatic experience because I was like, God damn, I thought we lost that game.
I remember specifically, I was watching it in my bedroom, right? I remember watching that game in my bedroom, and I am standing up, I'm pacing around the bed, I'm yelling shit, I'm talking shit. When because LeBron had that one play where he gets I think he got a long rebound, he goes down the right side of the court, gets in, scores a layup, and the next play, he gets another layup, kind of like not an up and under, but like kind of, twists in the air a little bit, gets a layup. And I remember at the time, I was like, that's why he's the fucking king, and you're just Serbian. Like, I'm just screaming at no one. I'm screaming at no one. When Steph starts lighting them up, when LeBron goes through Wemby on that one layup in the gold medal game and everything, I remember I was back in the bed because I was like, all right, that worked out last time. It's the only time I'm like ever superstitious about shit. And I remember just talking so much shit. And when Steph hit that third of the 4 threes, I remember just screaming at Evan Fournier, not even knowing he had like talked shit about the chemistry and everything. But I remember because I've never liked Evan Fournier. I don't like. This is a terrible thing to say. I don't like looking at his face. I think he's got a bad face. He's got a bad face. Okay, I just don't like it. I don't know what it is. I don't like it. And so lighting France up, I was saying really inappropriate things about Nicholas Batum's manhood. Now that I've watched this documentary, I'm a little afraid of Batum. He seems like a psychopath.
Batum was phenomenal. He's the big winner in the documentary.
Is a fucking maniac, bro.
What was the game where they were the game against Australia,
Germany.
right?
No, it was Germany.
They were getting where he went off at halftime. When he went off at halftime, it was Germany, where he was just going complete. The look in his eyes.
He looked crazy. He looked crazy.
As a coach, you don't say anything. As a coach, after that, all right, warm up. We're good.
Hyper competitive guys. That was the best thing about the doc. My man Sam tweeted that today, just like showing you how ultra competitive and crazy and cutthroat these guys are. And that's what sports is about. The spirit of competition, man. Who's the best? Who's going to win? Who's going to go home a loser and stew about it and be miserable? Man, I mean, the Serbian cats were like, you know what? Fuck it. We lost to Team USA. We won the bronze. We had a great tournament. But I know, man, some of these guys think of like when they're hanging out, they talk about like, God damn, we almost had those motherfuckers.
I felt really bad for that. Who was that guy? Alexa Avramovich? Because when they're getting haircuts before, I think, the bronze medal game, or maybe it was before the Team USA game. But Bogdanovich is just like, his dream is to play in the NBA. Like, someone give him a contract. I'll be his agent or whatever. And I was like, I think that dude's older. And I looked it up. He's 30. I was like, oh, fuck, dude, that's fucked up to put that out there. That like, his dream is to play in the NBA. It's like, that dude's not going to get the play there
been
now.
In the league for like 7-8 years. It's fucked up.
I thought that was fucked up. But here, let me tell you, I'll leave you with this. 2 reasons I do not believe in Canada. Okay?
Okay.
1, Jordi Fernandez, who I do think is an excellent coach. But him complaining to the refs, I'm playing for my life out here. Please call fouls.
I mean, they did get screwed on the. They did get screwed on the fouls, though.
And then before the game, telling
you can't say that
before the game was do not complain.
Yeah.
And then immediately starts complaining over and over and over again.
My thing is, if the international game is so physical, how come the other team shot 25 free throws in the first half? Those two things don't make no sense to me. So I kind of felt them on that.
I mean, you got Dylan Brooks on one team. He's got like those are fouls, man. Like,
the best part. The best part of that part is the best part of that too was when Jordy looked around and goes, he's complaining. Then he turns and goes, "We are fouling, though, guys. We are fouling. Like, we got to stop. But hey, stop calling it."
Yeah, or call it for I think he won calls for that. But and then the other part was after they lost, right? After they lose to France, they're eliminated. They go through the speeches in the locker room, and then the coach has to tell Shea to say so. He says, "You're the best player on the team. We need you to say something." That ain't leadership, baby. Yeah, I'm sorry. You don't have it. You don't have it.
You don't have it.
You don't have it. And you never will. You're the new Australia. You should medal, but you won't. America.
I'm going to ignore that.
Make sure you check it out. That's on YouTube. Make sure you check it out on all the feeds. That's not going to go over well.
Oh, man. America first.
For Mo, I'm Zach. Keep it locked on Basketball Illuminati.
You need to change your name from Honest Podcaster to Obnoxious American.